Hey everyone, this is Yeri of Astrology Healing Arts here to offer some perspectives on the astrology of March 2026 and some tips on how to navigate these turbulent times that we are living in. We start off the month with Mars, the red planet, entering Pisces on the 2nd, just separating from a square to Uranus, just the day before a lunar eclipse. This is a really surprising influence, and I think we should all be prepared for more revelations to unfold for several days and weeks to follow. It's not about the new surprises, though. It's still about things that are coming up from the past. In late January to early mid-February, Saturn conjunct Neptune in late degrees Pisces and exact at 0 degrees Aries just blew the lid off not only the Epstein files, but multiple hidden agendas simultaneously. And the repercussions of this will be long-lasting. More will continue to unravel and be exposed in the weeks and in the years to come. And a lot of the things that are surfacing will simply be mind-blowing, as much as the release of those blasted files, if not more so. And I'm sure there's a lot more to these files coming out. So all of us so-called tinfoil hat-wearing conspiracy theorists turned out to be right about a lot of things recently after all, didn't we? Even the fact that we still use the term conspiracy theorist so often is an insult, considering how much we have all been lied to about since the first day of kindergarten. I think it all started before John F. Kennedy's assassination back in 1963? But after this event, it really escalated. So now here we are. The jig is up. We know now, collectively, how corrupt many world leaders are and how rampant human trafficking is. But isn't it uncanny how often the term goyim turned up in the files, and now we're not supposed to even use that word, almost like it's become a new curse word? Just saying, hey, don't shoot the messenger. And by the way, our every word is being policed by AI. And here's a hint. It's not just all about China. Okay, so I had to get that out of the way. Forgive me. Now let's dive into more of these astrology happenings in March. With all of the peak Piscean energy that we are moving deeper into this month, things are going to get very weird. We are still between the borders of Pisces and Aries, and there's this feeling of being in a limbo. I mean, artificial intelligence on crack, alien attack psyops. Maybe we'll see a live unicorn. Come on, anything can happen if this is an infinite universe, right? I mean, people are already talking about seeing holograms in the sky, thinking it's the second coming of Christ. So truly, anything can happen. Let's get ready, buckle up. It's going to be another wild ride this month. So, March 3rd, total lunar eclipse, 12 degrees of Virgo in a conjunction with the South Node. And so again, this highlights that we are in deep review, plus Mercury just went retrograde February 25th, 22 degrees Pisces. So we're in this deep mode of review, plus it's going to be opposite this eclipse. A lot is coming up from the past, not just from the past few weeks, but the past few decades or even centuries, you know, that which came before us. It's all coming up for review and release. And some people might literally be nauseous and just want to vomit because it's so much. Virgo rules the gut, the intestines, how we digest not only food, but information. And it's a lot. But I also think that it's probably going to be a great time for holistic healing on a lot of different levels. This eclipse makes a sextile to Jupiter, and on the same day, Venus is in a sextile with Uranus, and that is exact the following day on March 4th. This stimulating aspect could help us to just stay afloat so that we don't sink too deep into the mud, to maintain our sense of humor, faith, and not to close our hearts up due to bitterness and resentment, but to stay open to connection and adventure and even, dare I say, a little bit of fun. Heck, if this ship is going down like the Titanic, we might as well enjoy that last beautiful song. I'm sorry, that was a really bad joke. That's not what's going to happen, by the way. I just have a really dark sense of humor. On March 7th and 8th, Mercury retrograde forms conjunction with the Sun. And at the same time, Venus is in a conjunction with Neptune and Saturn. Also, Mercury trines Jupiter. Both planets are retrograde. So this is a very interesting lineup and a time where a lot of those downloads and memories are flooding. They're just coming through really strong, and people are very much in this almost like heightened state of awareness. And so if accidents happen, a lot of the time it's going to be because people are so caught up in another dimension or state of mind, or just kind of reminiscing or suddenly remembering, or just like doing those double takes because they're so high on weed or whatever's happening. It's just going to be, it's a very interesting week. And then following, Venus is in a sextile with Pluto. And so everything is actually lined up in such a way that we're deepening in our awareness, deepening in our connections. And there are a lot of positive things about the astrology of this month, but there are also still some factors, I guess we could say shock factors, prominent in the background, making themselves known. But we do have some things that will be helping us to move through with perhaps more ease than we experienced in the previous month of February. On the 10th, or between the 10th and the 11th, Jupiter stations direct at 15 degrees of Cancer, just a couple degrees away from the USA chart Sun. And this could actually be a helpful influence financially, because the USA has been in a financial slump for quite a few months. And so financial issues could be resolved or improve in some way in the following few weeks. And that's going to be something a lot of people feel very relieved about overall. Between the 13th and the 15th, we have another pair of aspects that are potentially dangerous and challenging. That will be Mars in a conjunction with the North Node in Pisces, and also Mars coming into conjunction with Mercury retrograde in Pisces. This is going to probably be the most disruptive influence of the month, maybe even more so than the eclipses. I'm not sure. But it'll definitely be a catalyst of some kind, bringing in a lot of intensity into the picture, whatever the picture is. So that means Mercury retrograde will also be in a conjunction with the North Node. They're all sort of coming together. And again, this brings up this theme of what's coming up from the past, because both Mercury retrograde and Pisces have to do with past events or a cycle that is now coming to a conclusion. We thought it already hit the fan. It's going to hit the fan times 10. Now, it hasn't really been fully processed. And it's just, I don't know what this is going to look like, but it's going to be very emotional. And the following the 17th, when that exact conjunction occurs between Mercury and the North Node, there's going to be a new moon at 28 degrees Pisces. Just recently, we have recovered from the experience of Saturn at 28 degrees of Pisces. I mean, over the past several months, this has been our influence. So now is a final review of some of those themes that have come up. And this is a place of tears, sorrow, nostalgia, regret, remorse, and grief. A lot of grief. Everyone has a story. Everyone has an experience of loss. And that's what's coming up now. Also, this position is in a conjunction with the fixed star, Sheet, in the left leg of the winged horse of the constellation of Pegasus. And this fixed star is associated with misfortunes involving water and storms, death by drowning. Now, these are all very extreme, but we can probably expect some intense weather modifications and maybe hurricanes, rain, snow, just intense, water-related weather patterns. And that will be in a sextile, this new moon, with Uranus, which is late degrees Taurus, 28 degrees Taurus, exactly. And this brings an element of surprise and sudden turns and reversals as well. They could be positive or negative. I'd like to just look at this as being a positive closure in some way that we're able to accept and integrate and move on from, because there's been a lot building up to this. This is not a new experience. It's a very familiar one, but it's now coming to a close. A lot of spiritual breakthroughs, insights, memories, connections could be coming up as well with this. And it's right before that exact equinox point. When Venus forms a square with Jupiter on the 20th, Sun enters Aries. This is the astrological new year. And what do you know? Mercury stations direct on that day. 8 degrees Pisces. It's the Scorpio degree. It's potent. Mercury has made that conjunction to the North Node. Mars has made that conjunction to the North Node. And it's just looking like an incredible, revelatory, synchronistic, you fill in the blank, monumental moment to integrate our experiences and cross that threshold, that line. We've kind of sort of been, okay, entering this new Aryan fiery era, but still all of this Pisces completion, we've needed the review time. There's a function to Mercury retrograde that is assisting us in our full assimilation of experiences that need and merit our closer attention. We can't just gloss over these things and expect to excel and move forward. We would fall backward. We would make so many more mistakes if we didn't take these timeouts or didn't undergo this process that Mercury retrograde provides us with 3 times a year. So on the 21st, Mars trines Jupiter, assisting us in this assimilation process moving forward. On the 22nd, Sun forms conjunction with Neptune in Aries, and Mercury forms conjunction with the North Node. And this is a really visionary, inspiring moment. So literally a great time to either journal, make a vision board, create a new song, a piece of art, automatic writing, something, because it's what's coming through. It's just it's such a golden moment to channel that energy somehow in a spiritual or an artistic way. On the 25th, Sun makes a conjunction with Saturn while forming a sextile with Pluto. So it's involved in that whole grand minor trine. Saturn is in a sextile with Pluto exactly on the 28th. So this is a really key activation that should be utilized consciously, carefully, and with some degree of humility, because we're still in the post shadow of Mercury retrograde. So it's not time for going full speed ahead, but it will be soon. In April, I would say middle April, then we are moving full speed ahead. But now, take some time to come out of this and look back and just pat yourself on the back for how far you've come and what you've endured and any loved ones you may have lost or feel that you may soon be losing or having a completion with, and prepare for that next stage. If you've enjoyed listening to this content, please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. I always appreciate knowing that this reached someone who needed to hear it, who benefited. And that gives me the inspiration to continue providing these insights. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a beautiful month. Whatever happens, I know that there will be something about this that is going to be, if not healing, then enlightening. May it be so.